we've started a new standard on trigonometry, and this video shows you how to solve for missing sides of a right triangle using our trig functions that we've discussed before: sine, cosine, and tangent. And we're also going to be using our knowledge of the ratios and of the opposite, adjacent, hypotenuse. Here I have a calculator, and I want to show you how we'll be inputting this into the calculator. The first thing that is critical is that we need to make sure that our mode is in degrees. All of our angles will be in degrees, so you want to click on mode right here and check to see if degree is highlighted, and it's not. So I'm going to come down and I'm going to highlight degree, and I'm going to press enter and then second mode, and that puts me back to home screen. So I have three things here: sine 65, cosine 40, tangent 55, and it has a value. Each of them has a value, and I want to show you how I got those values. 65, 40, and 55 are all theta. They're all angle measures in a triangle. So the 0.906, if you recall, sine is opposite over hypotenuse, so that would be what the ratio would be, 0.906. So I'm going to put sine, and here we're going to be using these functions on our calculator: sine, cosine, tangent, for this video and for this learning target. So I'm going to just click on sine here, and I'm going to put 65 because that is our theta, that's our degrees. And you get 0.906. I'm rounding to 3 decimal places to the thousandths place. And then I'm going to do cosine of 40 degrees. And you see I get 0.766. And then I'm going to put tangent of 55 degrees, and I get 1.428. The purpose of this was just to show you how to input the sine, cosine, tangent functions into the calculator, so you'll be familiar with them as we continue on throughout the video. So for example, we're going to solve for x in this triangle. And I first want to identify what I have. So I have 68 degrees, and then the 20 would be the hypotenuse, and the x is the adjacent side. So which trig function, SOHCAHTOA, has the functions a and h? That would be cosine. Cosine theta is equal to a over h. So all I'm going to do to solve for x is I'm going to just substitute my values that I have. I know theta is 68, and I know that h is 20, so I'm going to substitute those in. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to set up a proportion. I'm going to put cosine 68 over 1, and that's going to equal x over 20. Then I'm going to cross multiply. 1 times x is x, and then I'm going to do 20 times cosine 68. Make sure I keep the 68 with the cosine. It's like a square root. You need a number underneath the square root, just like this. You need a number with the cosine, the angle, and theta. So the theta in this situation is 68. So put that into your calculator, 20 times cosine 68, and you get your side to be 7.492. Alright, next example. I have 72 degrees, and I have my 10, and that is the side opposite. And then I have my x, which is the hypotenuse. So the trig function that involves the o and the h is sine. Sine theta is equal to o over h. So I'm just going to input what I know. My theta is 72 degrees, and my o is 10. So I'm going to substitute that in there. And then I'm going to make a proportion, put sine 72 over 1 equals 10 over x, and then I'm going to cross multiply. This time it's a little different because my x is in the denominator, so I'm going to show you what that does to our equation. So I do 1 times 10, which is 10, and then I do x times sine of 72. And this becomes a simple algebra equation. You want to solve for x, we got to divide both sides by sine 72. And so that's what I'm going to input into my calculator. 10 divided by sine 72, and I get 10.515. All right, next example. I have 57 degrees, I have 17, and then my x, and 17 would be my side adjacent, and then the x is my O. So the trig function that involves O and A is tangent, so tangent theta equals O over A. So I'm going to substitute in all that I know. Theta is 57 degrees, and my A is 17, so I substitute it in, make a proportion, put it over 1, cross multiply. 1 times x is x, 17 times tangent 57. Make sure that 57 stays with the tangent. You do not multiply 17 and 57 here. Tangent, the theta is 57. So you need to make sure that you input it like that into the calculator, or you will get an incorrect answer. So you do 17 times tangent of 57. So x is equal to 26.178. And that is all there is to it with solving for a missing side. You just substitute in the values and you are setting up proportions and solving for x.